And good evening once again to all my viewers out there. This is my last video for the night in this series, returning to the West Island. This is the Rivière des Prairies, of course. Right now, like I said, it's Thursday, August the 10th, 2017. It's about 7:16 p.m. and this area right here that I'm in, coming up here, is the Parc de Rive Boissée, I believe it says. When I was covering the floods, I wanted to get into this park because it's right by the water. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to access it for obvious reasons. It was completely flooded. But now it's opened up, and this is my first time going into this park. So I'm going to bring you, the viewers, in here and show you a video of the Rivière des Prairies in its natural or more natural state. Just one more look behind us where we are again. That soccer field right there, where people are playing on right now, was completely inundated with water 3 months ago. These are the houses in the area as well. A lot of them were affected. Some have returned to normal, some haven't. But now we're going to go to this park here. We're going to see the Rivière des Prairies from this park. Again, 3 months ago, water was all the way up to here. And I want to give you a perspective here of how dramatic that rise in the water was. It was dramatic, but you don't need much of a elevation in the water to cause significant flooding because of the nature of this area. So we're going to walk down here and we're going to see the actual Rivière des Prairies from this perspective. And keep this in mind for the future. It's very important, this video, because it's a reference point. So I'm going to pause the video, I'm going to resume it right by the water, the edge of the water. Alright, so we're right here by the water, by the Rivière des Prairies. Very beautiful spot, by the way. And look back here. Look at this. That just goes to show you how far the water came inland. Now look at this. We're actually above ground here. The water was so high that it actually climbed up here. Look at this. There's a debris mark. That's where the water was recently. Look at this. Went there, came all the way up onto the street level. That's why the flooding was so significant. And we're going to look around here at the river. And I'm going to explain something in a moment. I'm going to resume recording momentarily. So we're here literally by the shores of the river. And again, the most important part of this video is you have to understand how high this water was when the flooding occurred. This is a more normal level of the water. Obviously you're going to have, differences in water level. Maybe sometimes it's more to here, sometimes, it can come to here. I say typical spring flooding might be around to here. But this water, this flooding that happened, there's the normal state. This water came from there all the way up here, uphill onto the street level. That just gives you an idea how high that water was. And I want to use this video as a reference mark because I'm going to be coming back here. If there's flooding again next year, after the floods, I'm going to come back here. I'm going to see exactly as a reference point how high the water was compared to now. Let's take a look at these trees here. Remember these trees when I film in the future. This tree right here is right there, and these rocks are here, and the water is there. So we're going to see if there's any future flooding or changes in water level, how significant it actually is. But you look around and you can see very clearly how amazing the flood truly was. And sometimes it's after the fact, once normality returns, that you begin to see just how significant something was. And I've said in my previous videos, and I don't want to politicize anything, but climate change is real and humans are contributing to it. And at the end of the day, what you're looking at right now, these geese, the grass, the trees, they will all be the ones that will prevail, and humans will be the one that will unfortunately be doomed. You'll see that, unfortunately, a lot of businesses have not reopened. The grass has grown back, the trees have grown back. The ones that were, damaged or whatnot will die, but will be rebuilt, either man or by nature. The geese are still here, the grass is still here. The water's still here, obviously. I think it's just a message. We got to open up our eyes. So I'm going to close the video here and, let you all reflect on what you've seen tonight. Again, a lot of folks out there have not returned to their homes since the flood. A lot of businesses have been closed since the flood. And there's a lot of uncertainty out there, and you got to remember one thing: next year. What will next year be like? I'll tell you right now. I'm not one to look into the future, but if this year is any indication of things to come, well, I think we got to be prepared for a changing planet and a changing life. Alright, have a good night, everybody, and I'll leave you with these beautiful geese. See y'all soon. Have a good night.